Today we're going to discuss why do people and companies invest overseas. And there are many ways that those with capital can actually go about investing in foreign countries. And they can be grouped really into two big broad categories. One we'll call FDI, which is foreign direct investment, and the other is a portfolio investment. Now, the differences between them is that in a portfolio investment, it gives an individual investor, like you and I, a claim on some income. But we might have shares in Procter & Gamble or in Disney or in Apple, but we have absolutely no role in managing the investment, nor the loans, nor the shares of the company stock. So we can say we take little or absolutely no part in the running and decision-making in the investment. Our interest is simply the rate of the return that we are going to get on our money. Now, foreign direct investment, this is made by a company like Disney again, who will establish Disneyland parks in China, in France. So they own the facility and they have control over the activities that take place in that investment. Toyota would be another one. We've got to ask ourselves the question, well, isn't there enough opportunity here within the United States to invest your money? Yeah, sure there is, but those with capital need to move their money around where profits are going to be lower, maybe here because of interest rates, to another part of the world where the profits that they're looking for can be in fact higher. And if we look back, we can understand why the HO theory explains this perfectly well. Because a country's average profit rate depends on how much capital they've actually got. Where land and labor or capital is scarce, it's very expensive. Where they're plentiful, it's extremely cheap. So the same is true of capital. And recognizing what we have to do is a little bit different. The interest rate that's received is the actual price of the capital. So a more expensive capital means a higher rate of interest and therefore a higher rate of return. If we look at the era in 2011, the prevailing rate of interest in most countries was about 2%. And Latin America was typically 10. So where's the money going to go? The money's going to go to the higher interest rate, Latin America. However, if the only consideration was this differential in the rates of return, as the HO would like us to believe, then all foreign investment would flow from capital-rich nations to capital-poor nations, correct? But that's not in fact the case. Most international finance takes place within the rich countries, the rich nations. So again, ask yourself the question, why? Well, investment in rich nations is far less riskier than investments in poor countries. The poor countries might need it, but it's certainly far riskier. So if we look amongst the industrial nations, the Western nations, your return might be a little lower, but your risk is certainly a lot less.